Hi guys, it's Lara. Thanks for watching and welcome to Vlogmas day 24. I can't believe I made it so far with Vlogmas. Anyway, today I have decided to do something not Christmassy at all. You have seen from the title, I'm gonna show you a few ballet bun variations. The reason for it is that I know that some people experience a loss recently and some people are going through a really hard time, and even mentioning Christmas or doing something Christmassy would be too painful for them. So I wanted to do something for them as well. So we're just gonna play with hair, which is pretty neutral and not Christmassy at all. So if you want to know how I make my buns, then please keep watching. All right, let's start with the easiest ballet bun. For that, your hair needs to be a certain length because, first of all, you want to put your hair up as high as possible into a ponytail, and second, the hair needs to be long enough so that you can wrap it around the elastics. Now, the elastics that I'm using are always elastics without any metal parts because that's pretty damaging to your hair otherwise. Now, this is just a simple textile elastics. So once you put your hair up, then you need to brush your hair through, which is kind of stating the obvious. And then I always divide the ponytail into two equally thick sections. And the next step for me is always to grab a leave-in conditioning spray and to make the hair a little bit damp. And then I always start twisting the one section around its own axis. But I'm kind of doing it while pulling it already to the direction in which I'm twisting the section around my ponytail. And now I twisted it a little bit, and in the back it would kind of stand up. I don't want that, so I'm gonna flatten it immediately and put a bobby pin in. Otherwise the bun would look very weird. So I hope you can hear something while I'm turned away from the microphone. Now it's pinned in place, so I'm gonna continue wrapping this around my hair tie. And at some point I will reach the end and I'm gonna secure it with another bobby pin. So that would be the first section. Now let me grab a second mirror and make sure that it looks the way I wanted it to look. Okay, where's my mirror? This is a weird angle. Okay, that looks all right. Now let's take the second section. If there are any shorter hairs, you can always kind of wrap them with the longer hair. You just have to play with it a little bit. And let's make it damp as well. And now, again, I'm just gonna pull it towards the direction in which I'm twisting it. And yeah, twist it around the own axis. And then I will wrap it around and pin it in place. Now I came actually to the same point where my first section ended, so I just pulled the pin out and now I'm gonna pin the additional hair to it. And then all I have to do is to kind of flatten the bun. So I'm just gonna push it a little bit towards my head, put in a pin here. Then I will turn around and look into the mirror that I have here in front of me and see what I can do in the back to make it look a little bit better, but it looks all right to me. You can always like play with it a little bit, push it together and add more pins so that it's very secure, because especially if you're gonna wear this for training, you don't want to be bothered with your hair. So I'm gonna finish putting in the pins and then I'm gonna show you the final result. Alright, so I put in more of these bobby pins. By the way, this is the way it goes to your hair. So this goes towards your scalp and the flat side is always facing up. And now I'm gonna turn for you so that you can see what the bun looks like from different angles. Now let's have a look at a second option. So if your hair is long enough so that you could put it into a high ponytail and kind of pin the flyaways from your neck away, but it wouldn't be long enough to wrap it around the hair tie, you can always use a donut. So you can simply like pull it over your hair tie And then you would simply open the hair around the donut. Now that's an attractive look, and kind of spread it equally so that the donut would be covered. And let's say your hair would come only like till here. Then you would take another hair tie and pull it over the donut. And again, make sure that the donut is completely covered. And then you would simply kind of pull on the donut and hide the hair beneath it. I mean, you can obviously do it also with longer hair, and then you can just wrap the hair around it and pin it in place. That works too. Or you can just like kind of make the donut with your fingers a little bit wider, and then you can pin it in place on the sides so that you can see the hair. So you can see it's also working on my hair length. But I personally find this works the best if your hair is a little bit shorter, because then there is not so much hair that you have to hide away, especially if your hair is very long. This is gonna be annoying. Now, so I'm gonna again pin the hair in place. I will make sure that we don't see anything of the hair that was sticking out. Now, I can do a little bit better in the front, I guess. So it's just kind of, like with any other hairstyle, you just have to push and sometimes pull the pin out and do it again until you have the desired result. And that's what the hair looks like. Okay, hold on. Okay. The second type of donut has a little press button, so you can open it and close it again. So the way I personally use it is I always brush my hair towards my face, and then I wrap the hair around the donut. Again, I always try to spread it already as much as possible. And then I close the donut in the back, like close the press button, and then I spread the hair around it, but right now it doesn't really look good because everything is kind of too short on the top. So in that case, you'd have to play around, like maybe wrap it the other way around, whatever works better. And then I would pin it in place, and it would look basically exactly the same way like it did with this classical donut. So I'm just not gonna do it all the way through, but you get the idea. So this is also an option. Now let me just try to wrap it the other way just for the sake of the video. And then I would close it here in the front, and then I would spread the hair around it. I think that would work a little bit better for my hair length. It's just important that you can see the donut. So now if you have brown hair, then they also sell brown donuts. I think they always sell also black donuts, and obviously this one is for blonde hair because I've been wearing blonde hair for a long time. Yeah, that would work better than wrapping it the other way around. Yeah, another option. But we are not done, so I'm gonna divide now my hair into 2 sections. And I am going to braid each section. Just a regular braid, nothing special. And I'm gonna secure it with a small elastic at the end. And now I'm gonna pancake the braid, so I'm just gonna pull it apart a little bit so that it's thicker. I'm gonna do the same with the second braid. Now my hair already is quite thick, so I don't have to do it too much, but like the thinner your hair is, the more you will have to pull the sections apart. And now I'm just gonna start wrapping the hair tie into the braid. So I'm gonna start with this one, pin the end in place. And then you can decide how you want to wrap the other one, like either the same direction around, or you can go like in the opposite direction. It's entirely up to you, like whatever works for you. I think I'm just gonna wrap it like this and see what it looks like. You just have to play around with that too and see what looks good. Maybe this way around. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I'm just gonna kind of braid it forward towards my face. I think that should work better, and I'm gonna Dutch braid it. I think that would look better. So this is something I always play around with, but it's still quite a quick hairstyle, and it looks really pretty because of the braiding. So let me secure this. Pull this apart again a little bit. Okay, now, yeah, that's more like it. So I kind of twisted it once, and then I'm gonna put an elastic right here so that it wouldn't move, because I actually like how it lays here. And then I'm gonna hide the end here beneath this section. All right, so one more bobby pin. And then what you can always do is to kind of stretch it a little bit more so that it looks a little bit puffier, and then you're done. And here's what it looks like. Now, I personally like this one a lot because it just looks so interesting since it's braided. And also, the longer your hair is, the bigger the bun is going to be. Another option would be, instead of making a regular braid, grabbing each of the sections, divide it again in two, and then start twisting the sections around each other, basically creating a rope braid. And then you would do basically the same, twist each section around the hair tie, and it would look again a little bit different, quite similar, but it would have a little bit different structure. Now, the key to a rope braid is that you twist the section around their own X in opposite directions. So see what I'm doing with my hands? I'm just gonna kind of exaggerate, and that makes the rope braid to stick better together. So I'm gonna secure the end with a small elastic again, and then I'm gonna play around and wrap it around the hair tie. That always takes a little while, and it's always the best if using two mirrors. Now I'm always gonna wrap the braid a little bit, like the rope braid, around its own X. Now let's secure it here. Can you see that it's a little bit different than when it was braided in a regular way? And then let's wrap this one in the other direction, because right now it looks good. And secure it here. And then in the back, I will have to do it with the second mirror. So I'm gonna play with it a little bit in the bathroom, and then I'm gonna show you the end result of this one. For the last one, you will always grab a thin section of your hair, twist it, and then you will grab like just a really thin section of it and pull back. And the more you twist it, the more like kind of curly it's gonna look like. So let me be like this, and see that? It's just a very fluffy kind of grouping of the hair, and I'm just gonna pin it somewhere, and I'm gonna do the rest with the remaining ponytail. So you can decide for yourself how thick or thin the sections are gonna be. It depends on how much time you have, honestly. And then I'm again gonna pull and pin it in place. I think you get the idea by now. All right, let's do it here, maybe with a little bit thicker section. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's supposed to be kind of a messy bun. Now let's grab a very thin strand and pull on the rest. So, and pin it in place. This is gonna be more voluminous than the other buns. And obviously I always put only one pin everywhere, but once you're done with the entire ponytail, you will need more pins in order to secure it so that nothing would come loose. So I'm gonna finish that, and then I will show you the final result. And that's the final result. You can always fluff it up a little bit, you know, kind of pull on the strands and decide where you want to pin it and what you want to have like kind of sitting there loose. And for that, I like small bobby pins. I'm going to show you how small they are. The camera always needs a little bit until it focuses now. So these small pins are, in my opinion, awesome for this, because you can hide them a little bit easier than the bigger ones, and since the strands are also thinner, they are a little bit tighter. So now I'm gonna turn for you so that you can see the final result. Now I love all of these buns, but I would say the first version, the very simple one, is my favorite bun to wear to my ballet classes or when I'm doing yoga. The other ones, it always depends on my mood, but this one is more that I would wear like a sassy bun if I would go out, which I basically never do, but like, yeah, it's something I would wear to work or for a dinner or just on any day when I feel like having a bun in summer. And you can always spice it up with some accessories, you know, rhinestones, flowers, ribbons, whatever. Well, and that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you guys so much and see you all tomorrow. Bye!